Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Jayth. Welcome back to episode number 7, I believe, of the Road to Earnings series. In this episode, I tried out with aka Cole. We played the Performance Cup together, and I'm going to review our endgame, and hopefully, guys, you can learn something. And hopefully, you guys can learn something per usual. Let's get right into it. Now that I've learned to speak English, let's try this again. You guys should see how long it takes me to do intro sometimes. If I'm in like a weird mood, I just fumble over my words like 9 times in a row. But yeah, let's get into the video. So sales power went out and I decided to play the Performance Cup with aka Cole. He's a controller player, so I'm going back on my word a little bit. I know I said I didn't want to play with controller players. But we played one end game together. I had to play the College Cup, which went miserably, so I actually didn't get any content from that. But to the one end game we played, which is this one, went pretty well. So we pull a far first moving. Now this is where you take out your wood, and this is where you're going to want to save as many mats as you can while still not risking getting beamed. So once I find this spot where we can sprint, I'm just going to go ahead and sprint it out. Now my sprint runs out and I'll start building again, and I'll switch to brick. I'm also out of wood, so I probably had to switch anyway. But from here, you're gonna wait, look back a sec, see if you can get a kill. That's what I did, or that's what Cole did. He's gonna jump down and get it. He almost gets boxed. You see I'm gonna spray his top out so he can get up. I'm gonna instantly armor the floor so he doesn't get dropped back down. And now I can go ahead because he found mats. If he hadn't gotten that refresh, probably would not have been able to full tarp, so I would have had to like do a little bit of sprint tarping, which is something you see like all the pro players do. You stagger a bit, wait for your sprint to come up, you sprint ahead, save a bunch of mats, and do the same thing over and over again. Now we are second height, so I'm going to armor those tops while he heals. We're going to look down because the zone pulls back, but nobody really comes for us to be able to shoot. So we're just going to go back to the front, and this is when Cole makes a really good play, and he knows that players are under the builds that we had already built on, so we can get doubles on them. Let's try to look for a height beam, but it just doesn't really work out. Now Cole notices. I'm going to hold the cone and just double at it. We're going to double pump him, and that's a free refresh right there. At this point, we're just riding our builds all the way back through our old tarp here. We don't really need to build at all, which is really good. And I noticed that height was fighting, and they're so high up, so I wanted to try and get front side and then maybe look up here. But the team just lands on us. I'm going to hit him 114, but I think we were targeting different players here. So we don't aggro it. This kid just gets on my wall for some reason. I'm going to armor him off and just go back to doing what I was doing. Cole groups up with me finally. And now height is right above us. Cole's calling that height's getting grief, so he pops out to the side. He looks for a shot, hits him 80. At this point, we're about 600 mats. He's just wood. I think he's like 300 wood, so we don't have too many mats. We're going to come around to this right side here. And this is where Cole makes a play that I really like. Seems like he was always looking for shots on height, which is like the power play here, because getting height at this position pretty much wins you the game. He's going to side jump up and pump the height guy for 100. From here I can just get up with him. And now this is the classic just spray and push everyone down into each other so that they fight each other, and you know, you can take the final 1v1 on height. So because we're only wood here, we're going to definitely want to make sure we're connected. But once I connect, I'm going to come back up. I don't want to stay too close. You generally don't want to be just one layer above a team, especially with the mantling. You don't really get the audio of them mantling up. So that's kind of how we took height, was they were only one layer above us, and Cole was able to mantle up. I'm going to drop down and get those mats. You're going to hear Cole to tell me to get up. Cole makes a good point. He says that we need to stop using so many builds. We need to play on each other's mats, because we were playing 2 layers, which was kind of pointless at this point. And that team in the metal is one of the only duos we can see, so we're definitely going to focus them. I'm going to get back up here, and I actually drop down, and I'm going to block everything off. So any path for them to come back into zone is blocked. The only way for them to get in is if they go up and over, either with grapple or just building up. So that's what he does. He grapples up, and from here we can just look up together and spray him, and that is game. So I feel like we played that end game really clean, especially because of how shambles we are, and those were good players in that game. This performance evaluation was only champs, and it was new season, so there wasn't a lot of champ players. But me and Cole are going to play the phase invite only qualifier tomorrow, so hopefully we get a lot of good end games to review from that. This is, you know, the only one I have at the moment. So today's a little bit of a quick video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys learned something from it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another post. Peace out.